organizer with Detroit Will Breathe. We want to take this time to uplift what Nakia just said. You know, the people have the power. They don't have the power, we have the power. But we only have the power if we show up and do the work. And since last summer, that's what we've been doing. We showed up in these streets, we kept organizing when it got cold, and we kept making sure that the work was always getting done. It's not an easy task. It's hard. It's exhausting. Our people keep being killed by the hands of the state. And that is a system that doesn't have justice in it. For a system that keeps killing us and killing us and killing us, to have so many George Floyds and Breonna Taylors and Priscilla Slaters and Hakeem Littleton and Dante Wright and Adam Toledo's, that's not a system that has justice. Justice does not exist in a court. It's a very bittersweet moment to have these guilty verdicts. You know, I'm feeling very happy about it. I am. I'm happy. Like Nakia said, that's because we did the work. We kept showing up. That's why we got those guilty verdicts. But what I want to see is change. I want to see real change. I want to see real justice, which only exists in the liberation of black and brown people, which only exists in destructing the system that keeps killing us over and over and over again. It's hard to keep having good happiness in this moment. But Nakia said we should be proud. And I am. I'm very proud. I'm proud to be standing here with all of you. I'm proud to be here and to do the work. I'm proud. I'm proud of all my comrades that are here. But we need to keep showing up, and we need to make sure that we do what we can to prevent more George Floyd from happening. And we need to make sure that if it happens again, that this is the outcome. We have to make sure that we're doing the work to tear this shit apart.
That's right.
Because that's what I want to see.
That's right.
And that's what justice is for me.
That's right.
Justice is liberation of black and brown people. All power to the people.
All power to the people.
Thank you.
That's right. Justice is the liberation of all poor people. Because this is a class struggle above them all. Class struggle. Justice is ties of all the people. Liberation of all poor and working class people.
Y'all doing all right? And even if you're not, that's okay too. Because that's in part why we're all here. And I think, again, really, we want to like open up this space for folks to be able to talk and speak. To me, there are three things that are really important for us to understand. The first thing is justice happened not because what people in suits did in the courtroom, but what people did in the streets. And it happened in particular how the community of Minneapolis responded and how the movement came to their support and aid. We have to understand that justice happens only through mass action. That is militant, that is politically independent, that is unequivocally fighting for justice. But what that means is that we have to, the ones who have been fighting, some of whom were just joining the people who have been fighting for a really long time. We have to be asking ourselves, how do we build organization that can be there when people are prepared to fight, to make sure that we are not just fighting alongside them, but allowing their fight to include their real interest that isn't reflected in Mayor Duggan or Chief Craig or Biden or any other Democrat. That is going to be really important. And that is going to be really hard. Why? Because unfortunately, as much as we want justice, so does everyone too in a way, right? But we have to understand, and this is the hardest thing to learn, that we have to move with the masses and give them leadership when they're prepared to mobilize, as opposed to seeing ourselves as substitutes for the masses. Because here's what happens. What happens is, as a byproduct of substituting for the masses, we start to do all sorts of pragmatic things. We start to focus on all sorts of policies, talk to all sorts of officials, have all sorts of meetings for the sake of looking like we're doing something of value, right? Because of our, I will say, demoralization at times of how people respond or don't respond. But I think we have to understand that struggles ebb and flow. And that we've seen people, when they feel strong enough, prepared to come out, and that it's going to be really important that we create spaces that can feature the black and brown working class of Detroit, like we've done around the illegal eviction, like we've done with the Hakeem Littleton family. It's those things that we have to continue to focus on and build. That is what matters the most. And it is going to be a really hard fucking time engaging with that really difficult task of fighting this behemoth that has existed for hundreds of years, putting out injustice everywhere in the world. But we can beat it because we have the power, and we have to make clear that indeed we have the power. That is not only our collective action in the streets that makes major disruption, that makes sure that this system has to pay attention to us, but it is actually the labor that we do day in and day out. The pandemic made clear that workers are essential to how this world runs, and it is that power that we have to consciously tap into and control. And so one of the things that we need to be fighting for in Detroit that I think is going to be really important is that we have to be fighting to make sure that the communities in Detroit themselves have direct control of their resources and what their budget looks like. Because we know that people have been asking for so much in the city. And they've been asking for a lot of things that's been taken away from them. And that includes affordable housing. That includes community centers for their young people. That includes like jobs. So that we can function fully. And the only way that happens is if we can build a movement that brings forces together to uplift those demands and make it clear that no, we can build a movement that wins, and no, we don't have to rely on the Democrats. No, we don't have to wait every 2 fucking years. No, we don't have to compromise with politicians who never do what they say. And also, when we come out strong enough, we also have the power to put bullies and badgers in their place.
That's right.
And so, we got a lot of work to do, but we've done some good stuff. It's not enough, we all know that, but now it's time for us to build the struggle. And build organizations that have direct ties to the people in Detroit and oppressed people throughout the city and throughout the state, we've got to do that. And for me, Detroit Will Breathe exists for that purpose, and that's our goal, and we want to do that with whoever and however we can to build a real, serious movement. And I just appreciate everybody for coming out. Now, I do have to, before I open the mic up to everybody, I do have to bring Jay Bass up. Yes, because. And then we can open up for open mic. I'm sorry, I just had to. Every time. What up, though? What up, though? Yeah, I just stuck in. You know what I'm saying? I gotta head out soon, but I definitely wanted to be here with the rest of the movement in this time. I tried to be incognito, but I guess I can still. Alright. Well, everything that Uncle Tristan just said, obviously, I caught the tail end of that. But echoing similar to what I said last Saturday, that we got to continue this commitment even when it's fucking pouring down, snowing. And we know we got to be somewhere to get justice. So that's what we're going to keep doing. We're going to keep our ears to the streets, keep fighting with the fighters, and we're going to keep moving for justice in every area that we need to move with. I'm proud of every single one of y'all, and I've been honored and blessed to be in this fight with y'all. I'm not going nowhere. I don't care if it's sunny, below freezing, snowing, or whatever. We found our place in the movement, and we got to stay here and keep it going. So with that, we can open it up. Okay. Okay.
Hello? Hi, my name's Kate Fenvig. I'm organizer with BAM, the Coalition to Defend Affirmative Action, Integration, Immigrant Rights, and Fight for Equality by any means necessary. I think today, this decision, this guilty verdict is a victory for the new civil rights movement, because the real trial against Derek Chauvin happened in the streets, because that is where our power is. Without that, I agree with everything everybody said. He would have got away with it. But the reason that we've had this victory is because this movement has stayed in the streets and is building a real movement against what is really a war of police departments, like here in Detroit and all over the country, against black and brown communities. And one thing about the prosecution's case in the trial, in the court, is that they were really careful to try to keep the question of race and racism out of it, and to just pose this as this is one top and the whole bad apple, and yes, prosecute and convict Derek Chauvin as an individual while still defending the police as a whole. And we know, everybody who's been marching and fighting knows that that is bullshit. And when we've been marching, the movement charged Derek Chauvin with first-degree murder. And we have to be staying in the street to demand, to make sure that there is a maximum sentence. Otherwise, he is going to get less of a sentence. And if we can win on that and make clear that all of the other police shootings that have happened, even during the trial, that we demand justice for Dante Wright, for Adam Toledo, for Breonna Taylor, that we can win those things, and that winning this victory is a big deal. But what it shows us is that if we keep fighting, we can win. And it's been the only thing. It's
Robert Douglas Delgado, 46, white, Oregon. Dennis Lee Jr., black, Ohio. Marcella Garcia, Hispanic, Texas. Jacob Wood, unknown, Maine. Peyton Ham, white, 16 years old, Maryland. Miles Jackson, 47, black, Ohio. Here, Alexander Shelton, unknown, Georgia. Devontae Wright, 20 years old, black, Minnesota. These are half of the people killed by the police during the trial. Half. Derek Chauvin is a sacrificial lamb who burned on the fires of the 3rd precinct. This is all I gotta say. I got a short little piece. I just wanted to say those names because I know it feels we can feel good, and we need to feel good because we lit those fires. We need to absolutely recognize the fact that this is a sacrificial lamb scenario. Okay, this is one pig taking a bullet for all the pigs.
Well, they're trying to make it just him.
I'm sorry, my phone's
Because everybody still has too much time.
Today, another bleached white Jesus Christ sits up on the cross. A sacrificial lamb grins through his bone-picked teeth, content that his sacrifice saved his pig brothers. America anoints itself in crude oil and blood, thick with apathy and the sickly sweet, rotting scent of God's forgiveness. God is with us. God gave us this land. God built the prison. Justice bleeds on the altar, suffocating here in the temple of rape and murder and filth. But truth is a bullet. Joy is a fire. Community is a barricade. Solidarity is a shield. And revolution is a breath away.
Hello. Congratulations, everybody. My name is Justin Chong, and I'm a member of BAM by Any Means Necessary, the coalition to defend affirmative action, integration, immigrant rights, and cyber equality by any means necessary. In the past 2 years, we have won two of the most unprecedented victories in history. First, we defeated Donald Trump. Second, we got this killer cop convicted. But we know that that is not enough. The next thing that I really agree, we need to mobilize. Today here, we might have over 100 people here. This rally might not be the biggest one in the series of the movement that we have mobilized, but we represent all of Detroit. We represent thousands of people in Michigan who wants to fight for justice and social equality. And so, today, we have this victory, and tomorrow we continue to organize. Because now it is the time to go on the offensive. If we can get Donald Trump out, we can get this cop jailed, and hopefully our mobilizing will make a difference by getting the maximum sentence for him to rot in the prison for the rest of his life. If we can do that, yes, we can eradicate racism. For so long in our lives, as black, brown, immigrants, working people, oppressed people, we don't know. We're sorry, not one day we can be really equal and get rid of inequality. We don't know. We just don't know. We live in fear all the time. Racism, brutality, violence. We don't know. But today, we have some answers. know is possible because
Alright,
the
thanks
power
everybody
is
for
not
watching. We'll be back for more updates if there's some more updates.
And
Thank
so that's what I want to say. That so long as there is injustice, we will not be satisfied.
Hi, I'm a reporter with Great City Press. My name is Lisa Anderson. I've been out here for a few
Mobilize
hours
and
now.
feel
There's several dozen people who have gathered. The snow has been falling pretty heavily for the last couple of hours. As you've heard, there have been speeches from organizers of both Great World Breeze and also
Government dismantled.
it looks like there's about a dozen people out here, I estimate. Pretty cool. It's been very peaceful. I haven't seen any police officers recently. Very, very peaceful. We'll bring you any updates if there are any more this evening. Until then, we'll sign off.